And welcome back to a new edition of the 3 Up, 3 Down podcast. I'm your host, Brian Hunter. It's my co-host, Q Quentin Meyer. And today we're going to have a little bit of fun. So, obviously, this man right here is Tom Wilkerson. He's the manager of the Purge. He's going to be our first guest today. But in the second segment here, what we're going to get going on, we're going to actually have the champion manager from the Mojo this year, Mr. Doug Meyer. He'll be joining us in the second segment. In the third segment, me and Q are going to do something a little different. All right, we're potentially going to have cause a little bit of a stir, but we are going to take. Me and him are going to go back and forth and kind of draft our own mock team out of all the players that are currently rostered.
Fantasy draft.
Fantasy draft.
Fantasy draft.
We've already flipped a coin. Q won, so Q's going to get the first pick. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But before we get going, we'll just dig in.
Interesting.
No, Tom. Last year, led Purge to his 10-7 record, winning the last 7 games, regardless of how the 7th one was won, but it was still won. To a first place in the National League division, all in your first year being the manager of the Purge.
Well, let's clarify. What do you mean by depending on how it doesn't matter how it was won?
Well, I mean, I'm not really wanting to get too deep.
At the end of the day, it's a win.
Let's clarify.
A win's a win.
Let's
That's all I'm
clarify
put
what
it.
you mean by.
We're gonna put it in Cam allowing 4 runs to walk in for a win.
The game's not even on YouTube. You can't even watch it. I don't know if you know that or not. I looked for it the other night. I can't find it. So
no shit.
But here's
Bush
the
League.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. As much as that sucked, it's still part of the history of what we did in our first year. I think we can all agree with that. But we were at one time 2-7 or 3-7.
3-7.
Yeah, and we had to somehow, we had to get in the playoffs. We weren't in the playoffs at that time. I mean, we're staring. We had Caleb, who was no guarantee when he's going to be there, and we were relying on Colin to carry us. Which he did an amazing job doing that. But we had Pat part time. So,
none of us could hit the ball.
I feel like here, this podcast, you guys, first of all, you guys have done an amazing job, and I don't know how how controversial we want to be, so try to tone this down a little bit. But
hey, this is your podcast about the preview for the Archers for this year. If you want to talk about the past, we can talk about the past.
But here we weren't supposed to be 10-7.
Start of the year, 7 in the power rankings?
Yeah, I mean. I love this league. I appreciate this league. I appreciate everything everyone does. Probably one of the best group of guys I think you could ever be around. It's amazing you can find something like that in today's world. But we go up there, and first year we play, and Colin and Kalen and guys like, this is great. Here I am 50 now, and I'm playing with 16-year-old kids. and we're all able to, camaraderie is great. I mean, we go up there, and there's an 8 o'clock game, and guys are there watching the 6 o'clock game play. And I don't know. I mean, until you're playing it, it's hard to understand what it means. But so to be 10-7 in our first year as a team, knowing where we all come from, I got two guys that this will be their third year playing wiffle ball, period.
Right.
You were really the only veteran other than Greg. Greg was with me with the Empire, but you were the only veteran we really brought into that team to help kind of change the culture as far as hitting goes. And I'm glad we made that move. So, also one other thing too, I'd point out. So they had the Manager of the Year award, and Andrew won that. And, I feel like we did a pretty good job as a team, and sometimes the leader that the team needs to be recognized. And I thought here, we made some different changes in the year. Like we started hitting 4 players, right? Midway through the year, we said, hey, we're not hitting the ball enough. So we backed off and hit 4. That's not easy to do. You're getting ready to make decisions like that.
I can't wait.
All right? I mean, that's not an easy thing to do when you're telling somebody they're not going to play on Thursday nights when they come up there for 2 hours. So we made changes. We pitched. We also there was a time we tinkered with the pitching. We pitched Colin one game, and we closed with Caleb. Boy, that blew up in my face. Caleb got 2 losses that night. But again, as a manager, you're going to see those decisions you have to make. Why did I do that? Well, I did that because here we go into the playoffs. What happens if I got to have Caleb pitch an inning or 2 to close out game 1? That's the only chance we have to win the playoffs is if we can manage that scenario because we didn't have Pat. So, you go back when you start thinking that way, and you start thinking you got to make those calls early in the season. When you're sitting 2-7 or 3-7, you start questioning whether or not you know what the hell you're doing. you're like, man, maybe I'm leading these kids into destruction. We're gonna end up missing the playoffs, and I got two of the best pitchers in the league. This is not a good look for us, you know. So it was nice to see us turn it around. To answer the question, we in my opinion, we exceeded the league's expectations, and if we didn't, then they weren't given the correct expectations, right? Power rankings, we were bottom of the barrel. Yeah. So either we exceeded the league's expectations, or we should have been higher in the rankings. As far as like power rankings go. So we exceeded league expectations. I felt like we were a 10-7 team from the beginning. I thought we were going to make the playoffs. So we did what I thought we could do. We came up one game short of winning, probably 6 inches short, to be quite honest, because if that home run goes out that you hit, we may win the playoffs. If we have Pat Baumann, we may beat the Archers. Right. Who knows? But so I'm happy with it, man. I think 10-7, first place finish. I think it was a good year for us as a whole.
For sure. Yeah, I would say I think a little bit more timely hitting for the Purge last year throughout the season. It could be a different ball game, and especially through the playoffs. And I think what Rory said it best was it like he said less than 3 feet combined between game 1 and game 2.
Yeah,
of flying out to the wall.
Yeah,
but butts are butts, right? So at the end of the day, we didn't get it done.
Still haunts me though. I'm not gonna lie, but
yeah. So going into your second year as the manager of the Purge, what do you feel like the difference is between last year's team and then this year's team?
We can hit. No, I'm kidding.
That's a good question. Here we're a little older, and in wiffle ball years, that's a lot. I mean, Colin and Caleb are going to both be better hitters this year than they were the year before. I was looking at some stuff before we came in today. So this is kind of scary, but I lead this team in average, as at my age, as a career for the career Mo WIFF. Other than Pat, you got to take Pat out because Pat had a limited set. But if you look at the stats, I have a higher average than Colin and Caleb, and that they're better hitters. So if they're better hitters, we should be a better team because I'm going this way and they're going this way. So if I get what I think I'm going to get out of Colin and Caleb this year, I think you're going to see a much better hitting team than we had last year. We lost Brian, but we should have Pat hopefully step up a little bit this year. And then the additions that we made with the new guys, I think that's only going to make us a better hitting team. So I think I've added hitting to the team. We're bringing back what you'd consider Cy Young caliber pitchers. I mean, we've got 2 Cy Wiffle contenders on the staff, and not a lot of teams can say that, right?
That's true.
And I mean, you also have a third one who, if he played full time, could be Cy Wiffle contender. So I mean, if we're at our best, I think we can compete with you guys. I don't know that we have the hitting right now, but as we've all said, the league has some of the strongest pitching that you're going to run into, and we play 17 weeks as a team. So if you're in week 12 or 13, and I've faced James Klein, and I've faced Jaso, and I've faced Crossley, and I've faced Cam, I like to think that as the year goes on, we see that pitching, we're going to be able to compete at the end of the year. And, if that's the case, I think you take our pitching, we get better with sticks. Who knows? I mean, could we be sitting in the championship against you guys or against you guys? I mean, who knows?
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell.
I mean, you kind of already alluded to it. I mean, the additions of what you made, kind of using it. I mean, you brought back your core, right? I mean, I take no offense to that, or anything that way.
Well, we know that you would have came back.
Yeah, 100%.
If you weren't a captain for the Thunderbirds, I want to make this very clear.
Yeah, no, I don't think...
You knew that you had a contract on the table.
Yeah, you and me were already discussing it.
Yes. We would have just drafted one less player.
Right, of course. No, but you bring back that core of any team would be lucky enough to build around with Colin, Caleb, Pat, right? And I think this is a year that Greg maybe runs into one run or two, and that's just what kind of is going to come to it.
Greg Thornton's a top 5 career home run guy.
I know, so that's what I'm saying. The pop's there and the power's there.
And we also know that Greg does put the bat on the ball. It's just like even with me, it's like sometimes what we expect, you want to hit the ball every time you bat, right? Yeah. And Greg is just, we call him grumpy for a reason. If Greg goes 0 for 2, he looks like he shot him. He's in a bad mood for the rest of the game. But Greg will walk into something.
Yeah.
I mean, he won that game for us. You put us within 1 run, but Greg won that game against the Melonheads.
Greg was one of the
and that's a swing in the season. We lose that game right there, we don't win the division.
That's a true statement. That's a true statement. I don't think about it.
That's a big hit. Big hit by Greg Thornton. Big hit.
Hey, when it counts, it counts, right? It don't matter. It don't matter how you get it. Just get it. But back to what I was saying. You bring back that core. You add Blake Hoffman, Zach Gunn, and then John Cichowski in the draft. Now, Blake has proven, as a tournament player, nationwide player, he's hit pitching before. So I think, in all reality, you're adding a bat that you didn't have last year. As streaky of a hitter as I was, streaky of a hitter as what Colin was ahead of me. Pat, if he could have been there more, he was most consistent. But now you had somebody who's going to be there, in Blake Hoffman. I think it's going to be a good fit for you. Zach Gunn, does the game translate for him? Right? So, that's going to kind of be something there. And then John Cichowski, he's a captain of an NWA team, for God's sake. So there's something there.
How the hell does John Cichowski fall to the bottom of that draft? I'm not saying John's unbelievable talent, but he's good. He's good. He's good. And John Cichowski has been, and he had a postseason in NWA was like the MVP of one of the postseasons. Dynamite hitter at times. So, and then Zach Gunn's supposed to be a defensive wizard. So, I'm excited with the guys we have.
Yeah. You definitely got a little bit of excitement there coming back.
And we got the big brothers of your guy and of Cam's guy. So, sometimes when you're playing against your big brother, it's not as easy. You know what I'm saying? So that comes into play. So Zach Gunn being the bigger brother of Johnny Gunn and John Cichowski being the bigger brother of Dom, we're gonna play that card.
But the question is,
big brother's there. Big brother's there.
But does little brother have the confidence of a Bryson Livingston who literally says, "I'm going to hit Brody better than anybody else"?
I don't know. We'll see. We're gonna play that big brother card.
All right. So losing Brian Hunter to the Thunderbirds, how do you replace the bat and the locker room presence?
Locker room presence.
Here's the deal. There's absolutely no doubt that Brian kept our guys chill out on the field. I was a little bit more uptight with our guys. I had no problem telling them that they sucked when they sucked, but I also know that at the end of the day, I can also be the guy he was. So I'm gonna look at it this way. I'm hoping that Colin and Caleb can mature a little bit in that way, as far as being able to provide some insight into how we can change things or do things. But Brian was that guy for us last year. If we needed to chill, if we needed to take an extra pitch, Brian definitely put his 2 cents worth in. That's one thing we'll be missing with Brian. That's going to be greatly missed. But Greg's definitely not going to be that guy, because Greg's definitely.
I think Greg could be that guy. I think if you challenge Greg to be that guy,
he's a glass half empty guy.
Greg, I challenge you. Be that guy.
Greg's a glass half empty.
I know he's going to see it.
But I look at it this way. We don't have. If you consider we've added John and we added Zach Gunn, they're both older for wiffle ball years. They've played in NWA for a long time, been to championships in NWA. Colin and Caleb are 26ish. So. They're getting up. I wouldn't say getting up there, but they're an older
26-ish?
Yeah.
Didn't Caleb just turn 24?
24, sorry.
Jesus Christ. One's your son and the other one grew up with him. They're 23, 24, bro.
24-ish, I'm thinking. But we have, in my opinion, the ability to play past some of the silly,
get in the field.
You get nervous. You get nervous and stuff, and it's like these guys should be confident enough to get through it. And I'm hoping that'll help, because we're not going to have you there to kind of calm the waters.
No, you're going to be on the other side
calm
now.
the waters.
Chirping.
Well, yeah, Colin definitely does a good job at chirping. I'm sure he'll learn. I'm going to have to tell him this year, hey, man, these are your buddies, dude. We have to calm him down a little bit. But,
when it comes to national tournaments, it's different.
Loves to talk.
Oh, yeah.
National tournaments.
Watch the videos. I didn't even realize my son was that bad until I watched some of the videos back. And he's waving at him. And he's like, get out of here. And I'm like, man, Jesus, bro, you're supposed to be the good guy between the two. Because I do enough of that myself.
You missed the skibby.
We got Doug here with us. Doug can tell you I was one of the worst at that back in the day. But I guess maybe that rubbed off on him. I don't know.
And you missed the skibby tournament. He's telling these kids, you guys better test me. I'm hitting nukes off you. Their kids are in 8th grade.
Yeah. Well, that transcends from you guys playing the video games when you're little and you're going crazy on the little 3rd graders and stuff.
Oh, snap.
But anyway, I feel like losing you was a big loss for us, but hopefully the guys we've added to the team help.
Got you. Okay. We know your approach last year when we talked about, or at least I do. We batted as deep as 7 at a time. Then we got to where we batted 5 and we started seeing some success. At times we batted 4. And the whole rule of thumb was, if you sat during that first game, if you got on base during that first game, hitting, you played the second game. Mm-hmm. What is that the same approach you're going to take with a roster like this? Or?
No. That was my first year running a team in MO WIFF. Right. And everything I've ever done in my life, whether it's coaching basketball, high school basketball, whether it's coaching baseball, you have to kind of find what works, right? I mean,
Right.
that's just the way it is. Whether you're working job, whatever it is, you got to find what works. I think with Mo WIFF, it's a long season. I don't want to go into this year and overuse my pitchers
Yep.
and then have them not available at the end of the year at their peak. I don't want to cost them national tournament stuff. So I think you're going to see me probably have to pull the reins back a little bit on Caleb and Colin at times and make sure that we're running a full 3-man rotation. And who knows if Zach Gunn can pitch, and when Hoffman's there, one of them are going to sit. You're going to see me probably borderline play it close to the vest going into it, but also cause myself a little bit of concern of whether or not we may lose a game to do what's best for the team. And then if we can win those games, great. That's when you have an amazing season like you guys did. Because you guys did win some, Mojo did win some games last year shorthanded that you maybe shouldn't have won. But you did. Somebody stepped up. Was it Blake or
It was Blake.
hit the home run against Cam to win it for you? So you got to have moments like that. We're going to need some moments like that because I'm not going to go up there and pitch Caleb and Colin every game. And I'm not going to throw Pat as a reliever when Pat should. So I'm going to have to manage that. As far as hitting goes, we're going to hit 6 guys. When I made the commitment to carry 8 on the roster, we're going to hit 6. And we'll use that flexible fielder, with John Satrowski. He's going to play the field at all times.
So here, let me hold you off real quick. So we've got a couple rule changes we haven't really announced out loud yet. It'll be a future segment probably coming up in the next couple weeks. Me and Q, we're going to spend a segment. We're going to go through every single, the handful, it's not a lot, the handful of rule changes, including the extra fielder as long as you bat 5 in the lineup that he's kind of alluding to right now.
Yeah, so which I think is great for the
Yep.
league. So that way
100%.
everyone's involved. So, John's going to get plenty of time to play on the field. I don't know how much he'll hit. But we're going to bat 6, and we may end up, hopefully we're not, maybe we may end up 3 and 7 at some point and change that. But we're going to go into the season, we're going to hit 6, we're going to plan it every week, and hopefully it doesn't cause us any problems. But I'm not going to hit 6 day 1 and hit 5 in day 2. And if we get to the point where we got to start batting 4, which the new rule change, I don't know if you guys have talked about it with, if you bat 4, you only play 4.
Right.
Have you talked about that on the podcast
No,
yet?
that's just what I kind of just said.
Okay.
We haven't talked about all the rule changes yet.
One of the rule changes is that if you bat 5, you get to play an extra fielder, and I think you'll see us being one of those teams that use that every week.
Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty, here's the big one. Is this the year that the Purge get over the hump? They win it all in 2025?
I hope so. I don't have a lot of years left to be around it. I mean, I hope so. I think I put us in a position as far as the men, the caliber of players that we got to compete. I don't think we're going to be outmanned very often. Then that's important, right? I mean, I felt like we weren't outmanned much last year, but we got to get better at winning the 1-run games. There's no doubt about that. We've talked about that in the offseason. We can't go to these extra inning games and feel like our pitchers who do walk more than some of the other guys in the league could walk one batter and lose. I hate that, and we've lost a few of those games. So we've got to try to get a run early in the game, and I feel like if we can fix those 2 things, maybe we're a 12-5 team. And if we can be a 12-5 team in the playoffs, and I can somehow get Pat Ballman there, or if Zach Gunn ends up being, what I think he can be, I think we are that team. And I do think it would be scary to play us, even if it's you guys, if we're in August, September, and I've got a healthy Colin and a healthy Caleb, who both are running at about a 1.05 ERA in the top in strikeouts. And I've got a Pat Ballman who's very capable of being a shutdown pitcher, and that I can stretch a game 8-9 innings deep and go 0-0 with you until someone accidentally walks into one. Mm-hmm. And that's just a matter of who does. That's what it's going to come down to in this league. Eventually, we're all so damn good that you're going to get to the point where it's going to be 1-1, 0-0, and it's just like who gets that big hit, right?
Yep.
And it's kind of like the series you guys had this past year.
Yeah.
It just, I feel like this is the year that it's going to be like that. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting.
Being the division, you got Thunderbirds opening night, right? 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's going to be the best game on the slate.
Fun story right there.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun little storyline there. I mean, I'll stay humble. I'll say it's the best storyline.
I think it is. I mean, here you left us, and now you're the manager of the Thunderbirds, which was already one of the top teams in the division.
Right. Who you pitching game night 1? Colin or Caleb?
I am.
If you're pitching, I'm pitching. I'll go toe to toe with you.
I wouldn't do that to the league. You would be fine, but
I don't know, man.
I've already proven at 50 years old that my top speed is probably 69 miles an hour.
Bring Grant Miller out of retirement, bring him out there to
Oh
pitch
my
a little
God,
bit.
yeah. Don't go there. So you asked him pitching. I saw the last podcast. You asked Rory that, and Rory, he wouldn't say it. Rory's my guy. I love Rory to death, but here I'm going to say it right now. Caleb Schweigert is our ace of this team. Period.
I figured you were going to say Caleb the way you were talking.
But I mean, Colin's ace.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm not taking anything away from Colin.
Colin asked me this at work. He said, I've said I'm making this very clear from day one. I'm not going to do this to Caleb again. Caleb's ace of the staff. 2 years ago, Caleb was the best pitcher in the league, in my opinion, as a rookie.
As his rookie year.
Okay, so I think Caleb needs that respect. We'll put that respect on Caleb's name. Caleb is going to be our opening day starter. He'll be there. Hopefully, he pitches us to a shutout win against you guys, and then we roll back with you guys in a week.
then 3 weeks later,
all right?
we roll a double
and
header.
guess what you get to see in week
Caleb
3?
and Colin.
No, Colin and Pat. So we're going to run a 3-man rotation this year.
It's at Pat's there by then. Is he going to be there that early?
Probably not. So, but I just want to make it clear. We're going to run a 3-man rotation. Win, lose, or draw. And those 3 guys are 1A, 1B, 1C.
My first 3 Thunderbird's first 3 games are against the Purge.
Yeah, I know.
And then we're done. And then we're done until we see each other in the playoffs.
That sucks. That's actually...
That's just how the schedule fell.
Yeah,
unfortunately, I get that.
That's unfortunate.
So Caleb will be our opening day starter.
Got you.
Who's your opening day starter?
It's either going to be Spencer or Dom.
Either,
I legitimately,
either.
legitimately not decided yet because I have not talked to both of them about how they're feeling.
Well, I didn't talk to anybody about how they're feeling as a manager. I made that call. You go ahead.
Yeah. You can judge me all you want.
I'm kidding.
You can judge me all you want, but remember, I've got a third one. I've got a third one that can go to.
I know. I'm just playing with you.
Pitch all 3 of them.
You never know, man. I could easily do it.
Go for it.
Hey, it's opening day.
If we get a 6-inning game,
if we're
you
up
don't
6
get
or
through
7,
the
if we're up 6-7 to nothing, you can definitely try some different things.
Hey, Mark's gonna come in and pitch. It's gonna be great.
I'm kidding.
No, all fun, all good fun.
Exciting, man.
When it comes to, the end of the segment, and everything, I kind of like to ask each one of our guests lately, what questions you got for us? Let's flip the script. Let's put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Normally, I think I prepped Rory, didn't I?
Yeah.
I prepped Rory with it. No, I didn't do that to you. I did that for a reason. I want to see what you come off the dome with.
Well, what you're going to be a manager for the first time.
Yeah.
In Mo WIFF.
Kind of.
How easy do you think that's going to be?
I think it's going to be one of the most difficult things I've done. But
in theory, it should be the easiest thing, right? It's just wiffle ball.
It should be at the same, but at the same time, I'm as competitive as they get. And I mean, the fact that Andrew gave me this team with very high hopes and admiration towards it, and I got nothing to respect for him. And I want to go out there and I want to win that. I want to win that championship. Maybe not even for myself, but more maybe for him than I do for me. So it's how do I manage a team and how do I keep it right? How do I keep everybody warm?
Andrew already has a championship.
Not as a Thunderbird. So I'm fine. First championship as a Thunderbird. God, pop the bubble, why don't you? While I was in mid-moment.
If I was gonna say it, you know who would.
But I think it's just gonna be one of those things where just kind of keeping everybody hot, keeping everybody fresh, kind of like you alluded to where my concern is the same as yours. How do I not overmanage it and lose myself a game because I overthink it, or try to make sure that everything is the way it should. So I think a lot of that kind of is going to fall on my shoulders. But I've been in worse situations before. I think I'll handle it.
Here's what I'm going to say as a playing manager, and I know that when Doug played, he probably was the exact same way. I feel like as a playing manager, you make decisions sometimes for your team that's not always the best, because you're afraid to put yourself ahead of somebody else. For instance, I lead the team in average, but I'm not going to lead off. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. I heard Cole on your last podcast make the comment that he tells his guys to go out there sometimes when he stays in. He's a gold glove guy. He should be on the field at all times. So as a manager, playing manager, you got to tell yourself sometimes to do the right thing, not necessarily what's best for the guys, to do the right thing. And I feel like that's a hard one sometimes. And I can't speak for Doug, but Doug being the manager, he's got a lot of different people he's got to keep happy and not happy, and it's just not easy. It's not easy. It'll be fun to see how you do this year.
See, everybody keeps saying this to me. I think you're all wanting to watch me fall flat on my face.
No, I don't think
faster
you will.
Than anything in the damn world.
I don't think you will, bro. I just don't.
I know that I won't, but at the same time,
I know you'll do fine.
I know it's going to be one of those things that's going to be challenging.
I just hope that at some point you come to me and go, Jesus, man, you're right.
The thing that is and I will say saving grace here, because yes, do I have the concerns of exactly what you just said? I've said it from day one. I said it at the beginning. I said it when right after I had the surgery, and I'm saying it now, and I will say it again in however many days we got left. We're within a month now of opening day. But I have no problem being a hybrid style manager where some weeks I'm like Doug, where I'm not playing at all. And then some weeks I'm maybe only playing one game, getting it in bat or two just because of the pitcher. It comes down to matchups. Because you look at me, I may have seen the most pitches in the league last year, or second most, or whatever it was, but at the same time, I struck out with the top 5% of people that struck out. So when you look at everything historically, Sam Eichenlaub, when he's on the mound and we're playing the Melonheads, my ass is in the lineup 100%. Career and historically, I hit Sam better than most people.
Let's play devil's advocate.
Yeah,
that's not as easy to do. When you play for the Purge, you're batting third for me every game, right? You're seeing pitches every game. It's easier to hit Sam Eichenlaub when you're doing that versus when you took off last week and didn't play
100%.
so that you could get other guy at bats.
100%. And that's going to be up to me to keep myself fresh. Right. All right? That's keeping myself, the way that I'm prepping this year, that's kind of what my plan of attack is. Plus,
I just know you got plenty of wiffle ball left in you, is all I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
So don't sacrifice too much of what...
me and Q, we kind of talked about the fact that I'm not sacrificing my whole career, but I'm making sure my elbow gets fully healed. That's more of my concern.
Yeah, no, that killed us too.
That's more... Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for the reminder. Yeah. Subtle stab.
Subtle jazz.
I love it. What question you got for Q? Stop picking on me.
So, Q, you have slowly put yourself in home run contention, in my opinion, for being one of the best home run hitters in the league.
Ooh.
I like that.
Look at him turn red. He's so happy.
And the swing has gotten progressively better. Patience is there, thanks to your dad, whether you want to admit it or not.
I learned everything from him.
I get it, but I know I've watched it. Okay, your patience is on par. All right. What point? How long before you're in the top 3 in home runs in this league?
I don't know how to say this without being humble, humbly bragging. I don't know. It could be this year, it could be next year, it could be the next 5. There's so many great hitters, and
you hit some of the best pitchers in the league.
I don't know.
I could see you being in the top 3 this year too.
But it does help with the lineup we're in. Sorry to cut you off, but hitting basically in front of Sam Skibby because I bat last every time. I don't mind because I have a good eye. I get on base. That's the reason why. I get on base, and look who's behind me. Triple Crown winner, 2-time MVP, greatest Mo Wiffian player ever, and Sam Skibby. Maybe I'll see more pitches this year because they don't want to pitch to him. Say with 2 outs, it's I know what they're going to come after me because they don't want to face Sam with a man on base. And I think it's just an approach thing.
So I'm sure you guys edited this out, but this will be fun.
What?
This question. That's the next question I'm going to ask you. So if you could have taken over one team last year and managed that team differently to give them a different result, who would it be? That's a question for both of you. Whichever one of you can answer it first, go ahead.
So if I could just make sure I'm clear, if I could pick one team to take over with the same roster, same everything.
Yep, and you could have put a better record on the field last year than what they did. Not taking a shot at that coach, just some things. You saw the year play out, so now you know. What would you have done differently?
Jesus.
It's a hard question, but I think it's a fair one.
I don't know.
I don't know if there's one that I would take over to where I would change anything, but I get to keep that? Do I get to keep that manager as a player?
Yes.
You're
just taking over the team.
100%.
Okay, what would you have done different to be better?
Well, if I'm there and I also have Jason there, that's somebody else who shows up. Right. So with a Bogad, Jason, me, Saggio, that's 4 right there to where, Saggio's going to strike out 9 times out of 10. Every once in a while he's going to run into one. But if he's not on the mound, he's a damn good fielder. Jason can pitch. Bogad can pitch. And I can at least be another hitter. And at least having 4 people there that could be there, I think that Melonhead team would be there.
That's fair. What about you?
That might be the cheap answer.
You're not hurting anybody's feelings. You could have went 12-5 with my team last year. Maybe I did some things different. What would you have done different?
I would either have to say you guys or the Mambas.
Okay.
I would say you guys just because now you have a bat. You got I guess.
So we add you into the equation. You'd have been able to be another hitter for us.
Yeah, and then the Mambas would have been another bat. I would have been another lefty bat on top of Parker, and then I don't know.
That'd be kind of dangerous.
I just think the Mambas Mambas had the recipe for success, but the playoffs they just ran out of pitching.
Yeah.
It was, and I mean,
That's a fun question.
that's a good one.
I like
I
it.
wanted to go with something that would cause you guys to squirm a little bit. So
That didn't make me squirm, just made me think.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
I feel like
I like it.
I felt like the league was pretty.
The only thing I'm going to cut out of that right there is me what I said. First time ever. We finally did it.
Yep. I cut you off guard. That's all right.
Dude, I love it.
That's good.
I love it. Well, Tom, appreciate you coming by and hanging out with us a little bit
I
here.
love it. Anytime.
But yeah, for sure, we're definitely gonna have some live segments where we're not live, but where we're gonna shoot some at the ballpark. You're always at the ballpark and stuff, so we'll get to have some fun. I think it'll be fun to maybe, if you're okay with it, since you like to stand out in center field and take some video. If we get some stuff, maybe me and Q not playing, come out there with a microphone and have you live broadcast some of the stuff from the back in your own way.
For sure.
I think that'll be a lot of fun.
For sure.
But no, man. Again, appreciate your time.
Love it. Thank you, guys.
And with that, we'll be right back with Mr. Doug Meyer, manager of the Mojo. Welcome back to the second segment of the 3 Up, 3 Down podcast. And we are joined now by the 2024 Season 4 champion, Mr. Doug Meyer, manager of the Mojo.
2023 Manager of the Year. Most career all-time wins.
I thought we were going to say humble on your name. Damn. Oh, man. Last year led the Mojo 14-3 record. First place in the American League. And then, guys got your first overall championship in MO WIFF. Finally, as you said, yeah.
Finally, dude.
What, second appearance, right? In the championship? And
Yes.
fun stat there. Do you know there's only been, every team that's been to the championship in MO WIFF has been there twice?
Yep.
Yeah.
I literally got told that the other day, and I was like, wait a minute. And I had to think about it, and I was like, I'll be damned. Yeah, Cam actually gave me that fun fact.
Another fun fact that they said on the broadcast is that until this past year, every team has won in their second time. The only team that has not won in their second time, the Archers.
Well, there was gonna have to be either you guys or the Archers.
I know that's why I said
that's the only
before.
thing that's the only thing that kind of keeps that. But I get that, yeah. No, man, how's it been? How's your off season been?
It's been good. Ready to go. Some ups and downs. Trying to put the roster together and get roles defined again. As you know, with the big roster, we got to figure out when people can be there and when they can't be there.
Right.
So talking to people, it goes back to one thing only. We're a family. I said this at the championship series that they make it real easy to want to come because everybody's like a family, they're friends. It's good times.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so going into the fifth year as a manager of the Mojo, so what's the difference between this year's team and last year's team?
All I could say is pretty much the same. Maybe hit more bombs. No, I'm just kidding. That's Tony's line. No, the only thing I can say it's different is we got a guy from Kansas that's going to be here a lot more because he's moving to the Lou.
Ray Jason?
That's what I was going to say.
No. His little nephew.
His little nephew?
His little nephew.
Guy's like 6'2".
Yeah, he's probably taller than that.
I don't know how tall he is.
But yeah, he's going to be moving to St. Louis. He's not only going to be moving to St. Louis, but he's going to be working with a lot of people with MO WIFF because, believe it or not, he believes in MO WIFF. He believes in the fact that MO WIFF is a growing league and he wants to keep it Midwest. He likes the fact that this league is growing. And as anybody else knows, I'm a big league guy. You might think that, I'm about the Mojo. Of course, it's my team, but I'm a big, big league guy. I want this league to succeed. I want everybody in this country to know that MO WIFF's coming and we're going to be coming and we're going to be staying a long time.
Well, you stayed in the family this year with the draft.
Always.
You added Connor's Uncle Ray,
Mm-hmm.
Ray Jaso. What role are you looking, is he going to play in a team that just won a championship that's ready to run it back and geared up already, and hell, a second edition of having, Connor going to be there as often as he's going to be there now. It's addition by addition from within, if you will.
Well, I mean, the thing with Ray is he's been in competition his whole life. I mean, from baseball to fast pitch softball. I seen what he can do firsthand of some of the best players in the country. And again, this is a grown man playing wiffle ball. It isn't serious for him. He's just going to come out there and play and have fun. and he wants to win. And that's what we're all about, being a family and winning. Somebody's willing to travel as far as he's willing to travel every single week. He's got the passion to win. He's going to be good success for our team.
I agree there.
So what's going to be the most challenging part of managing a team with 8 players?
Ain't no step for a stepper. Been doing it for a while. I mean,
Jeez.
literally, it's
Love it.
We're all family. We have our roles. Pretty much, I go through different scenarios with myself and also with Sam. Sam helps me out big time, and I kind of make my decision. I'm the one that makes the decision. People give me their 2 cents, but I make the final decision. And frankly, as Tom's here, he'll tell you that whenever you're, I hate to be conceited or anything, but when you're paying for everything, it's pretty much what you say goes. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. But that being said, us being a family, people have sacrificed to win and to be part of this family. And, I think we're all on the same page. So it's not very hard at all.
I mean, being a full-time manager, what's something you see, like, because you've been doing it for so long, I mean, what's something that you can see differently on a field than what, say, player manager like me or Tom or, you are currently the only full-time manager,
right? Well, I mean,
what's it allow you to do that us player managers might not be able to do?
Well, I mean, honestly, there's no pressure to put myself in a situation where I will not succeed. I'm not trying to force myself into a game that I know that I don't belong in. Growing up, playing slow pitch softball, I started with my uncle, and then I went to my own team. And as I got more competitive, I knew that my abilities weren't going to be the top level abilities, but I still wanted to be the top team. So I had to do what I had to do to make that happen, and that was not always playing. So I try to put everybody in the best situation to win, and I lean on people. I learned from a long time ago, there's a gentleman named Ken Carl. He told me one day, he said that, Doug, what you're going to realize is shit rolls downhill. Until your team is made, nobody else's team can be made. And what I've tried to strive to be is the best. Everybody tries to follow along to try to beat the best. So to be the best, you got to beat the best. And right now, we're the best.
I've said that. I literally had somebody ask me, what do I consider the win in the first year? I go, the way the roster is constructed, not going to lie. It's a team that's built to win. We added Brody. And literally, if I don't beat the Mojo in a championship setting, or even, hell, I'll even go as far as, you don't beat the best, you can't beat the best.
That's right.
And I think I kind of challenged, because everybody got deep this year with the draft.
100%.
Everybody got deep.
100%.
Maybe even, some teams only took one player where, if they're there more often, it's going to be, a huge impact. If not, same team as last year, roughly. But, they're just, it's going to be one of those things where each division is stacked. Everybody each night can go 3 deep. Like we talked about pitching. I mean, that's going to be a pain in the ass for anybody.
Pitching's how you win championships.
Oh,
that's how it begins and that's how it ends. Because, for example, Roy was on the podcast. He's really excited about my nephew playing with him,
right?
Which he should be, because he's going to be one of the best up-and-coming players in the country. Mm-hmm. I'm not just saying Mo WIFF. I'm saying the country. Well, there's something that he's going to have to face that he's never faced before, and that's a Mojo lineup.
Yep.
That Mojo lineup is patient.
Yep.
That Mojo lineup can hit when thrown to. So he's going to have to battle every single pitch, every single at bat against a Mojo lineup. Okay?
That's going to be fun to watch.
So what's really going to be fun is if the person that says he wants the ball shows up, and he's going to have to hit against them too. So if that's the case, why the hell are we playing 6 p.m.?
Oh, boy.
We should be playing right in prime time because it's going to be the 2 hottest pitchers in the country.
Mm-hmm.
I got no control over that. I can't.
Yeah,
I don't have anything to say. I have no control over how the schedule falls. I mean, I know if we follow up last year, you know, they had the ring ceremony that they had for the Mojo for the Melonheads.
They couldn't.
You know,
the
for
kids
opening.
were playing.
But yeah,
they couldn't have
I
one.
forgot we couldn't do that. So I mean, playing devil's advocate to the situation, that I would probably try and schedule the same way. But I mean, I feel you. But I feel you there. But it's gonna be. I'm gonna be there at 6 o'clock. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna be there all night. I'm gonna be there all night because I want to see it.
Let me tell you something.
That 3-hour wait is atrocious.
It's going to be that opening night, and it's not just because of our game. The Purge Thunderbird game is going to be hot. The middle games are going to show out too. This is for our league, and I'm a league guy. Everybody may not agree with me, but I am a league guy. It's going to be the best opening night that we've ever had.
Mm-hmm. Yep. New look Melonheads versus new look.
It doesn't matter. New look.
Melonheads are going against.
It's just the talent is unbelievable. And part of the reason why this talent has been we got to where is because of people, not only from the top, from Josh to Cam, but to the new people that have come part of the league. You know, I give a lot of credit to yourself, a lot of credit to Tom. Tom and I have been. We battled out through the years in slow pitch softball, but we all had the same respect of trying to grow something. We've had all-star games in slow pitch softball that we try to bring people all over the country to come play in because we want to build the brand. Well, this is our Midwest brand. There ain't nobody in the Midwest. I know there's people out in Circle City that feel the same, but not with this big barrel bat, right?
I love Circle City's field.
It's cool.
The dirt yard's cool.
I want to go out there and see it.
But we're the closest to the UWIF Midwest brand there is. Mm-hmm. And we're growing.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have people come from all over the country to play in our league.
I brought up a couple of segments, or not segments, a couple episodes ago, is one of these days I'm going to figure out where everybody's come from. And, like, you ever been to the Cardinal Museum where they have, like, the map?
Yeah.
The interactive map where it shows wherever, like, fans have come from?
That's a really cool idea.
That'd be something cool to have and, like, put on, like, the bottom of the website. Oh, that's a thought I didn't have until right now. Put it on the bottom of the website. That's a little thought.
Where players have come from
to play in the league.
Yeah.
So what we're looking at a point in our league right now that are we going to be this Sunday night beer league and drinking league like we had slow pitch softball, or are we going to take this to the next level where we're traveling all over the country playing these big tournaments like we want to do? And if that's the case, we're going to have to bring these people in from out of town. Or what's happening is these people are seeing these players come in from out of town from the MO WIFF Classic and other teams. We brought people from the East. We brought people from the Midwest. We bring them in here and they compete against them. They're like, you know what? These guys are really good, but I think we can compete with every single one of them. Right. You know, perfect example is at one time Cam Smith was the best pitcher in the country. Okay, but he believed in himself to go play up east. Now what's happening is these guys are coming and we're playing these people from up east and out west and we're competing with them and we can beat them. And what we got to do is believe that we can beat them before it can actually happen. And now we're starting to see this in that league. Every single week when we have to face Brody or Ben Doolin's coming in from Florida or Connor Jaso or James Klein or Caleb and Colin, going to be two of the best pitchers in the country. We're facing them every single week. So when we go up east, it's no different when we played slow pitch softball. When we're playing D or C and we're moving up playing A and B teams, when we got the world tournament, they didn't look so big and bad then. That's what we're looking to do. That's what my goal is from MO WIFF.
Oh, dude, I definitely see it happening. I mean, you know, what UWIFs right now, we're just UWIFs alone, but we've got 2 for sure teams going right now. You know, that's, you know.
We're going to have 3 teams going.
Yeah, we got, you know, the third team working it. And I mean, other national tournaments.
Well, there's 3 teams going. There's got the Miracle, Lit City, and there is going to be a Mojo team.
Boom.
Oh, yeah, we already had 3. Not bad. We already had 3. I wasn't even thinking that. There may potentially be 4.
Correct.
You know, we don't know, you know, hopefully we figure it all out soon, you know, how all that's going.
And if 4 teams go,
that's huge.
There's going to be teams up there in the East or wherever they're going to be. They're not going to want to play a MO WIFF team because of the rosters that we have currently right now. It isn't this first year teams that are going up there. We're way better than we've ever been, and we just keep getting better.
For sure. 100%. Yep.
So to kind of bring it back to Mo WIFF and the Mojo, kind of start this with a fun fact. It's been 912 days since the Mojo have been swept in the series, and that was September of 2022 versus the Bombers.
Mm-hmm.
And you've kind of implemented a winning culture, going 14-3 the past 2 years and obviously winning a championship. So what kind of measures or what kind of stuff do you put into the Mojo to continue to win?
Well, this is easy. It's the players. I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from any other Mojo players or Mo WIFF players. But sitting right now, in my humble opinion, I have the top 4 players in the whole league playing for my team. They're one of the top. I mean, we took 8th in the country, and they're all on my team. So, we didn't have Gus there, but he's arguably one of the best players in the country, and he's on our team. That's how that happens. We win with pitching. I said pitching is the way you win games, and we can run out. When you got Sam Skibby, your 4th pitcher, you're in pretty good shape.
That's true.
You got the Bulldog. Jackson Crossley has won every single game in every major tournament, every Mo WIFF game in 2 years. Now, you could maybe give him the NWA, championship loss, but that was after he pitched how many games in that tournament and threw how many pitches?
He had 180 innings.
I think his dad said he pitched over 600 pitches in that championship run.
Yeah.
Now, that is amazing to me. Then you got Gus and Connor Jaso. We're forgetting about Brett Spencer,
who was a
Cy Young finalist in his first year of Mo WIFF. So pitching wins championships, and we're a patient team at the plate, and there's reasons why we haven't been swept since 2022.
Questions you have for us? You kind of got to prep this maybe a little bit because you sat here and listened to Tom's segment, so you kind of got prepped. We didn't catch you off guard, but I want to see what you got for us.
As I've said before, and people may doubt me, may not believe me, but I am a big Mo WIFF League guy. It's not just about the Mojo. It's not about the one single player. It's about the whole league. What do you guys believe that needs to happen in this league to make it grow?
I mean, I've answered this question before. You and me, we've had this before. I mean, I believe to continue to make the league grow is we need to find a way to where every team is rostered at least minimum 8. And the reason why I say that is because of the fact that it's going to get more people that are involved. Logistically, I get it. It's hard to make it to where we can't grow the league at this moment to 10 teams, to kind of help, with it, because this year alone, we've got 3 people that were, a handful of people that were in the league last year that have yet to be signed. And we're a month out, right? So, it's unfortunate to see that. We've got people that would love to be in the league, that maybe their skill set maybe isn't at the level of what our players are now, where we're at. Hell, it's been said out loud, or the joke's been made, that if I wasn't a captain, I wouldn't be in the league. But you know what? I'll respect it.
My story.
I respect, the whole thought philosophy that was behind it when it got said. Wasn't attacking towards me, but that's where it is. It's like I came in year 2. League's leaps and bounds better than what it was, then. And I mean, it's watching these young kids come in that are, playing it out, and then we're watching some of the people who've been doing this 15, 20 years. They're starting to decline. It's just the nature of life.
Yep.
All right? So the circle of life, not the nature of life. Sorry, the circle of life, to where it just kind of happens. But the competitive nature where we keep putting out better talent, better, more competitive talent. You alluded to it earlier. We go into these national tournaments and make our presence known. I mean, it's the proverbial Red River rivalry. Texas beat Oklahoma. Texas sticks a flag in the middle of at the 50-yard line. Oklahoma beats Texas, sticking a flag in the 50-yard line. Kind of one of those things where we go up to some of these tournaments to where, the East has always been, beat the East has kind of been the whole thing. let's go up and do it. I mean, that's where we're striving, and the fact that we are sending, 3 to 4 teams of top talent. I mean, there's nothing to say. There's nothing to say in a couple of years.
Our top talent going up there, even if it's going to get them better. It's going to make them better, and it's going to in turn make our league better.
Yeah.
And if our league gets better, the more players are going to want to play, and then it's just going to. 5 years is going to be nothing. It's going to be 10. It's going to be 15 years.
I think I'm kind of like looking at these teams that we have set in stone right now going up there, right? You got the Mojo team running it back, right? A little bit mixed with a little bit young, a little bit old. Then you've got like the Miracle team, where it's the same way. You got Cam, you got Rory, you got Tony, you got then you got Spencer and Wheeler, coming in the fold there. How do those two that might not have as much national tournament, experience as the others, kind of like everything's balanced, right? And it's just, and then you've got, Lit City where it's going to be fun watching just a bunch of up and coming.
You got to understand with Connor moving to St. Louis, he's going to be working with Josh Wheeler. He's going to be working with Brody. Yeah. He's going to be working with James Klein and Quentin and Caleb and Colin. They're all going to be working together. Because guess what? They're looking at the future as well.
Correct. So,
but we don't want this future just to be a UWIF team.
No.
We want it to be a Mo WIFF centric team.
Yeah, 100%.
So we got to try to get these people in our league to get us better so that we can compete with everybody. Mm-hmm. I think Cam has done a fantastic job and got us to the point where we need to be. But people got to understand, I'm not out to hurt anybody.
No, I don't think anybody is, right? I don't think anybody's out to do anything.
I'm a league guy.
I mean, we've all had our conversations. We've all had our heated discussions.
Correct.
You know what? I'm not going to call them fights. I'm going to call them passionate discussions.
Well, I'm definitely passionate.
That's definitely the truth. I mean, you and me, we've had them.
I mean, you guys, we're all brothers.
Time, right.
All of us.
Yeah.
I mean, people take things personally. It's not personal. It's just that I'm passionate about this league. Don't cut any of this out because I'm telling you,
none of this is getting cut out.
This is my.
This goes 45 minutes. None of it's getting cut out.
I mean, this is what I'm here for 2 reasons.
Yep.
And you know what the number 1 reason is?
Well, hopefully for the reason I invited you to talk about your team. Oh, you mean Mo WIFF?
I
thought you meant here today.
Wow.
I thought he meant right here.
My son.
He's saying why in Mo WIFF. He talks about
I'm here because my son, and it's something we can do together. But number 2 is the family of Mo WIFF is the reason why I'm here. Now, there's times where Tom or yourself run me off the phone because I'm always constantly trying to talk to you guys. I understand the dude don't answer his phone because I'm trying to talk.
He doesn't.
I mean, but because I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always trying to sell the league, not just Mojo, the league. Because I want it to be the best.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like, hey, East, we're coming.
Ooh.
We're coming. I don't care what you think, what you feel, we're coming. We're not there yet, but we will be coming. That's a promise.
And with that, I say we end this segment.
I
think that's the best way to end this segment.
Bring it on.
All right, Doug, buddy, I loved having you on. Just bringing that passion, bringing that fire, just sparking conversation and continuing conversation.
Oh, wait, one more. Last question. Who's starting opening day?
Oh, I figured it was...
Connor Jaso.
I just thought to keep...
Connor Jaso requested the ball.
To keep it fair...
I want the ball.
Winners always do. Gene Hackman, the replacements. Doug, I've appreciated having you on today, man. You brought the passion, you brought some spirit, you brought some fire, some spite, spit. I love it.
Don't cut it.
No. But, no, man, with that being said, me and Q will be right back. We're going to have a little fun and do our little mock draft. You're not going to want to miss that one.
Nope.
You sure as hell, not after Doug here. You sure as hell not going to want to miss what me and Q have in store for you. So you guys stay tuned. Welcome back to the third segment of the 3 Up, 3 Down podcast. As me and Q kind of hinted towards and played with a little bit ago, for our third segment here, we decided to have a little fun. So what we're going to do, we're just going to do a hypothetical fantasy-style draft using all 8 teams that we have here in Mo WIFF. And pretty much we're going to take turns going back and forth, build our little roster, our little team, and then kind of have a hypothetical 3-game series. So at the end of it, let us know in the comments who you think would have a better team.
Yep.
But earlier in the week, when me and Q discussed this idea, he won the proverbial coin toss. So with the first pick of the 2025 hypothetical fantasy Mo WIFF draft, Quentin Meyer is on the clock.
Connor Jaso.
That's what I had put down from the beginning. I literally typed it up. I'm like, Jaso.
Yep.
Holy shit. Oh, man. So you know what? I'm going to have a little bit of fun, and I'm going to take Sam. I'm going to take
Skibby.
Now, we are keeping track of this a little bit because we may do some things with it later on. So if you see us typing away like two little nerds on our keyboard on Fantasy Day, that's what we're doing.
I already got my second pick. My second pick, I'm going Ben Doolin. Ben Doolin, one of the best pitchers in the nation. And, you know, my game 1 and 2 starters are already there.
There you go. All right. I'm going to go a little off cuff here. And I'm going to take Brody Livingston.
I was about to say, if you don't take him, like, you fool.
But with Brody there, I mean, the figure kind of same thing. You know, getting a starter pitcher that I'm not afraid to throw against one of your little flamethrowers you got.
Yeah,
there.
this is where it gets fun. But I'm gonna have to go with man. I want someone that can hit anybody. You know, you got a good number 1. You got an excellent hitter in Sam Skibby. I'm gonna have to go with
I like how you're just dragging it out.
I know. I'm gonna say Jordan Smith. I'm gonna go Jordan Smith. You know, he can throw if need to, but he's got such good hitting upside. He can hit pretty much everybody. I've seen it. He was this close to taking a home run off Cooper Ruckle. Yeah, he's got such a good approach. I just think it's the best pick for my team.
Not bad. See, I need to go kind of the same thing with there. I need somebody who can hit, maybe somebody. You know what? I need to take a second pitcher. That's where I need right here. Because, you know, Skibby can pitch, don't get me wrong, but I'd much rather have Sammy as my captain on the field and kind of be out there and kind of leading my team on the offensive side. I'm going to go Gus.
Gus
I'm going
Skibby.
to take Gus.
That was my next pick. Gus Skibby.
I'm going to go Gus. You know, got the arm that can throw. Got a couple other people that I can pick up here shortly that, you know, for, you know, my next 3 picks to where, you know, there's definitely somebody I can definitely get.
Yeah.
Right, 4th round. We're flying through this.
I know. My 4th pick, I'm going to take Jackson Crosley. You know, Jackson Crosley is a bulldog. He's someone that can pick up a wiffle ball. Someone that can pick up a wiffle ball, and he can hit, he could pitch. You know, he had 9 home runs this last year. He was, in my opinion, second best player in the league, MVP candidate. He could have been a Cy Wiffle. He pitched more. I think it's a great pick for myself.
I do like Jackson there.
I love Jackson.
Wish I could spell his name right.
I wish Jackson Crosley would text me more or ever.
So let's pause there because you know you brought up on this podcast multiple times when we bring up Jackson. Is he like a caveman? Does he like go out into the woods and just kind of just hibernate for?
I've not heard from Jackson Crosley since we won the championship.
You're a bad friend. You should reach out and say hi.
He doesn't text back.
But have you reached out to ask him and say hi?
There's been times where Sam has texted him every day, and it took him like a week to text him back.
Jeez.
He literally will go day 1 of texting Jackson Crosley, day 2 of texting you, day 3, and it'll take him 5-6 days for him to answer.
So I'm gonna come back with another arm and another bat, and one of the another one of the best left-handed hitters, in my opinion, that I've seen in the country, with Andrew Nichols. I know I'm trying to stay away from the homer picks, but in all reality, the way this is going,
Great glue guy.
I did damn right. You know, again, somebody who out there going to have a good time. And when he's having a good time, there are very few that are as good as he is. And again, he can throw when need be.
Yep. So here we are in the 5th round. And there's not many players that in this league's history that are on par with the GOAT, in my opinion, Sam Skibby, in terms of the hitting statistic.
Oh.
We're in the 5th round, and Big Puma has not been picked yet.
God, he was my next pick.
So Cole Layton, welcome to the squad, man.
Cole, I would like to know how you feel about playing for a Team Q. Could you do it? I'd be curious.
There's nothing wrong with me.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Got to put that doubt in. Got to put that doubt. Dig that.
There's
wedge.
no doubt. I've played with Cole before. We've had a fun time.
He goes, we've had a really, 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 really fun time.
Yep.
Cole's who I had here because I honestly didn't think you'd go Cole there. So you threw me off there. You got me stumped.
Well, you took Gus, so.
I thought that'd be a given there. Ooh, you know what? I'm going to take Mr. Ryan O'Rear here.
Mm.
Yep. I'm going to take Ryan O'Rear. I mean, obviously somebody who can hit and who has hit extensively. You know, talking about on par with the stats. Offensively, yeah, he's been coming, you know, the way it's kind of gone. Maybe he doesn't have those Cole or those Sam-style stats. But I still, to this day, he's one guy that you don't want to see at the plate with runners on. And I think with the guys that I've got, Gus, Sam, Brody, Andrew, they get on base. So somebody, you know, Ryan that can bring them in, I like it.
So with my last pick, kind of teetering back and forth as you were talking there, looking at your team, you have excellent bats. I mean, I got great bats as well, but I think in the pitching department, I'm good. So I'm going to go with Rory Rink. I'm just going to solidify the lineup. I'm going to say that I'm going to take back on the pitching. I wanted to go with another arm here, but I'm going to say I want another bat. Now I'm going to go Rory Rink.
That's what I was going to take.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. That's what I was going to take.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here going through, all right. Pitching, I need help with an arm. Always need help with a bat. And somebody who's going to spark one in and literally be, like you said, a good glue guy and everything. I'm going to take Jason Worston-home.
I like it.
I'm going to take Jason. I think Jason would bring, again, a two-way player. You know, who's got a little bit of experience when it comes to tournament-style play or, you know, playoffs. You know, he's got a ship. He's got a championship. So that puts us at what? That's 6 right there.
6 each.
So I say we add a 7th here. We had an IR-eligible player here. Somebody that, you know, going to kind of be that bench guy that could be called upon. Okay. And I say we go rock, paper, scissors to see who's going to pick first.
A 7th player in terms of like...
7th player in case somebody gets hurt.
Okay.
All right, where they're eligible to be pulled into our roster. Now, you know, granted, maybe for our 3-game philosophy, that's maybe a little crazy. But, I mean, you know, just have a little fun. Okay. And I think it needs to be... Oh, I don't know. We won't put any rules to it. But you know what?
Just whoever you want.
Whoever you want to bring on to be that kind of person to be in there with you. So, obviously...
So someone like you, if you were in a foxhole in a war, you'd want someone in that corner?
Ooh, I like that analogy, yes.
Okay.
I like the foxhole pick.
I already know who I want.
Who do you want as your foxhole pick?
You want me to go first?
Oh, you're the one that gets to go first?
I want Caleb Schweigert.
You want Caleb?
I want Caleb Schweigert. That man, I've seen Caleb Schweigert get so mad. He's thrown things, knocked over a bucket of balls. NWA, he's screamed, yelled, but he comes right back, and he is your best teammate. Always in your corner. He'll fight for you. If I'm on a wiffle ball field and I get in a heated argument, I know exactly who's going to stay in my corner. At the Skibby tournament, there was a heckler that was heckling our team and heckling me, and I was heckling them back. That first person that came to my defense, surprisingly enough, you've been surprised. It wasn't my dad. It wasn't my own father. He came after Caleb Schweigert, stood right next to me, and was going right back at that man. At the Skibby tournament, there was a heckler that was heckling our team after we got blown out in the championship game.
Was it Sam Eichenlaub?
No, it was not Sam
That'd be funny, though. I could see
not Sam Eichenlaub.
I could see Eichenlaub chirping just to try and get everybody's head.
No, it was not Sam Eichenlaub. It was someone that was not playing in the game.
I'm going to go other side of the board for that. I'm going to take Sewell. Colin Wilkerson. I'm going to take Wilkerson right there because I'm not going to lie. If any fatigue is going to happen, it's going to be on the pitching side. Yep. And somebody, a glue guy who's going to be there, who's a damn good little fielder, need to be defensively. You know, I already have Ryan. I already have Sam, Sam, dies all over the place. He's got himself a Golden Glove as well.
Well, see, I have 2 of the best fielders in the league at Cole and Rory on my team.
You do, and you got, out of the top 5, I'd say all 5 have been picked up right here. Maybe not Saggio. Sorry, Saggio. Yeah. But, hypothetically, when we're looking all around, and everything that could go, that would be the team I would want, because this would be this to me right here, this is a cohesive group.
Yep.
That legitimately it has its leader, and everybody would follow suit.
Yep.
That's how I feel about my team.
Yeah, I would. Your team and definitely has a leader. I think in terms of cohesiveness and the will to win, I think your team has the competitive edge.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of straight talent, and if you think in a straight game, I have some of the fastest pitchers in the league. I mean, I like my team. Yours is pretty good. I like yours. It's an excellent team. You got the leadership in Sam. You got with all the glue guys. I mean, that's all there. Sam, Gus, and Jason and Andrew. I mean, Sam and Gus will get along with anybody. But in terms of talent and straight fireball and like in this scenario, kind of like an all-star game, I would say I give my team a competitive edge. Not only do I have Connor, but I have Ben Doolin as well, some of the best pitchers in the country. Ben Doolin plays up east in Mall on the New School Risers, and he plays against the best of the best, pretty much, up east. And then you got some of the best in the Midwest. I got the hitting, the pitching, and the fact that I have Caleb Schweigert as, in case of emergency, third option in a 3-game set. It's incredible. And not to let you get, before you go, the fact of the matter is the amount of talent we have in this league, that Caleb and Colin were off the top of the head 7th picks, blows my mind.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the fact that just the like you said, the depth of which everybody is. I mean, this is just for fun, right? This is just us playing make believe. This isn't anything this way. When I built my team here, I wanted to build that cohesive bond and kind of take a page out of the Mojo playbook.
Yep.
Build a little family here. Gus and Sam, obviously being brothers. I know Brody can play with pretty much anybody. Nichols for damn sure can play with anybody. O'Rear, somebody just happy to be here.
Right.
Going to give you the best foot forward. Jason's going to be that dude who's going to have some fun, light, and keep the mood light, keep everybody going, and, he's going to potentially run into one kind of, matching your rank pick, your Rory rank. Also, again, another pitcher if need be. But to have Colin to come in, if need be, damn good little fielder. You got somebody that's going to throw in the 90s just to kind of come with it. And, it all depends on if we're playing clean ball, cut ball, scuff ball. There's not many people that got that clean ball slider the way Colin throws.
I do got Jackson Crosley, who is one of the best clean ball pitchers in the country.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I mean, they kind of
Connor Jaso can throw clean ball.
We both have people that are going to be able to throw any type of ball or any type of situation. But let's get into our 3-game series. Game 1, who you starting?
Connor Jaso.
Okay.
105 miles per hour. He's got the best repertoire. I mean, he's got some of the best hitters in the country out there looking like fools.
Okay. I'm going to counteract I'm going to throw Gus game 1.
I love it. I love that pick.
Just because of the fact that I think it's going to become a crafty kind of game to where, Jaso may go back and forth, but, Jaso's going to be that power. Gus has got his own tool set, his own arsenal that he can come with and kind of keep some people off balance. And
makes it even fun. We've seen both of these players, Mo WIFF and nationally.
Yep.
I mean, different. Kind of get, what's the word I'm looking for? They've made that mistake. Gus with the James Chaney, and then Connor at UWIFs.
Right.
Doubled up on pitches, and they got him. It's a kind of who will break first and who has the more consistent, better lineup. And that's an edge that's up to you guys. I mean, I would say before this, I do have a player in here that not a lot of the consistent viewers know, in Ben Doolin. I would entice you guys to do your research. He plays in a league with 2 strikes and some of the best in the country, and he hits. So, not to be like, oh, my team's better, Obviously, I'm going to be that way because I drafted that way, but in the sense that this happens, I mean, it's who's got the better lineup. Who do you trust more to come up with that big hit?
Well, that's why I took Brazil. Right now, there's not a bigger name out there right now.
Sam Skibby.
Skibby, I'm talking about that big hit. I mean, we've seen Brody just in some of these tournaments in BLW. It just puts a bat out there and it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that snake in the hole, somebody who's going to get that key hit at that key moment.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not many people that I know that is cool under pressure like that to be able to put that bat on the ball.
Yeah.
So, I'm literally going to say I think that's a power game there.
Yeah.
I think any of these games could be a coin flip, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could be as simple as who picks the right area to put the barrel in the bat of the ball and it go. So I mean, I don't think we're really going to be able to decide who could potentially win. Right now, you and me, we could talk about it and argue about it back and forth for the next 15, 20 minutes. But I said we just move on to game 2.
So game 2 for the start, to me, I'm kind of contemplating this because I was torn between Jackson Crosley and Ben Doolin. Ben Doolin, a little bit more power, has more movement than Connor, but Jackson Crosley doesn't throw as hard, has a lot more movement. And coming off that game where you're facing, 95 to 105 in Connor, do I want to double down with the speed, a little bit in movement, or do I want to go straight movement? But I'm going to have to give the nod to Ben. I mean, again, that Mall, best players in the world, are in up east, and a lot of times in the world, go toe-to-toe with them, like people on the jugs, Jordan Robles, Ben Lee, people like that don't intimidate him because he goes up against him every year and a lot of times when he pitches. So I'm going to give Doolin the nod on this one. Just kind of the same recipe for success, Hey, man, you're one of the best in the nation. Go out there and show them your why. Prove to them why you're one of the best. We may not know you here in Mo Wiff, but the people that know Wiffle Ball know your name. Show the people here why. Show them your why. That's kind of my reasoning why I'm gonna give him the nod.
So I'm gonna counter Brody there. All right, just because somebody who wants the game wants the ball in a big game.
Mm-hmm.
Say we lose 1-0 in game 1. We need to get that win. Out of who's still available to pitch, just out of just shits and giggles.
Yeah,
let's throw the kid out there.
Yeah,
right? Let's throw the kid out there. And Brody, just to kind of see where we're at. Because if need be for some reason, he's proven time and time again, like we said, he can play and he shows up in those big spotlights.
He played at the big BLW tournament in Dallas. Yep. So on top with Ben Doolin playing against those big time players, Brody isn't afraid of that stage either.
Yeah. 100%. So, game 3, though.
If a game 3. We'll leave that up to you guys.
We'll leave game 3.
Do you want to go Mo with rules here, where it's if you pitch the first game, you can pitch the third game? Or do you want to just say we have to go with a different
Let's
pitcher?
pick somebody different. Let's
pick
somebody
okay.
different. This is where your depth when it comes to starters maybe gets here. So, who you got? Let me see. I'll counter. Since you got first pick, I get to counter.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it's kind of a play on the rules here. If we can use our 7th player.
Nope, only if somebody gets hurt. That was just for royalties and just being nice.
Man, that's a tough one. I'm gonna have to say I'm gonna give Jackson Crosley the nod.
I was about to say, how are you not going Jackson there?
I'm gonna go give Jackson the nod just because Jordan has kind of toned it back in the last couple of years, but Jackson doesn't have that long of a leash compared to the other two. I'm going to say it could be a split game, but if Jackson's rocking and rolling, let's go, man. He's come up big. Look at the championship series. I mean, had kind of a little bit of leash, but he went 4 shutout innings and was into the 5th before he had to get pulled, and then coming off 2 games with absolute flame. I mean, we could see a big game from him.
So I'm going to go Nichols there.
Yep.
But I'm going to start playing that bullpen game.
Yep.
All right? Because if Nichols, comes out and, starts getting hit, because, there's times where he can be hit. If he starts getting hit, everybody's 100% healthy in this.
Yes.
No dead arm, no nothing.
Oh, man. Jackson. Oh, man.
I could have a lot of fun with O'Rear and Jason. And hell, even Sam. If the push comes to shove where I need to get crafty, that's a game.
If we're talking healthy arm, I still have Rory and Jordan.
I know that's what we're getting. So that's where I think I'm starting Nichols there, going righty, lefty, because you're going power, power movement, power. With good movement, and then you get somebody that's crafty. And Nichols just throws different arm angle, different slot. It's just going to be completely different visual, even though it's going back-to-back lefties, which can be with a bunch of righties in here.
Connor's a lefty. I don't know what side of the plate Ben.
I've seen Connor swing and hit bombs at Mo Wiff on both sides.
He hits lefty mostly, but he can.
I thought he hits righty mostly.
He's lefty mostly.
Oh well, lucky him. Good for him. I mean, that being able to do that.
I mean, with my smart hitting, I mean, Cole Layton, one of the best naturally smart hitters.
Yep.
Jackson Crosley, Jordan, Rory. I mean, just.
Yeah, I mean, don't be going putting bats in anything. Remember, Jason Worsdenholm was a batting champion,
Jason-
or should have been, or was a batting champion until the final swing of his own teammate took the batting title away from him. And he's proven time and time again, even in a down year, the man still swings a hell of a bat. So I mean, that's one of those things. And then you got O'Rear. I mean, you're talking about everybody here is going to take a good at bat.
Yep.
All right. So where you may have some free swingers with what you got. Some smart hitters, but at the same time, everybody's going to take some competitive bats.
Oh, yeah.
But no, let's, thought my computer was dying. But no, let's go over the teams again. Team Q's got Jaso, Doolin, Ben Doolin, Jordan Smith, Jackson Crosley, Cole Layton, Rory Rank, and then, break glass case of emergency, Caleb Schweigert. I have Sam Skibby, Brody Livingston, Gus Skibby, Andrew Nichols, Ryan O'Rear, Jason Worsdenholm, and my person to break glass in case of emergency is Colin Wilkerson. So I like this because we've got a little bit of young, a little bit of old, mixed in together, right? Then like I said, it's just all about being a cohesive team.
Yep.
So, dude, I would be curious to see how this kind of goes.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a way for us to track this and see who had a better overall year.
We could do it based off stats.
No, you and me, we'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. We don't need to spend that time here. But no, man, that was fun. I know it went by a little quick.
Yeah, it was a quick segment, but it leaves you guys to think.
Yeah, I want to hear what you guys have to say. So by all means, let's hear it out in the comments. Let's hear it out in the let's see who thinks what.
Get us
when it comes to it.
Say, who do you think? How many games?
I'd love to hear somebody who's more analytical than the both of us.
Yeah.
Break this down and really give kind of that fitting feel.
What does game 1 look like? What does game 2 look like? Game 3, if necessary, what does that look like? Who wins? Who's your MVP?
Oh my gosh! You know what we should do? We should at the end of the year take stat lines and put them into ChatGPT or Gemini or something and see who pumps them out.
Yeah, see what AI thinks.
That'd be fun. Anyways, we're talking. That'd just be a lot of fun. But no, as always, hope you guys enjoyed the content today. We know we had a little bit of some hot takes, had a little bit of fiery conversations, and we want to thank our guests, obviously Doug Meyer and Tom Wilkerson, but for spending their time. But make sure we smash and like this and subscribe button here, so you can hit every kind of video that we sit there that we come out with. You guys are alerted and ready to go. That way, every Tuesday when the video drops, or Wednesday. Sometimes stuff happens. When our videos drop, when it's dropped before we even make a post or anything about it. Season's only a couple days away, or a couple weeks away.
So close. We're close to it.
We're down into the 20s now. It's getting close. I can't wait to get started. But as always, make sure you go onto our website. That way you can get onto our merch. And then also in the link below, there will be is the link to get straight to the website. Takes us into the merch store as well. I'm not wearing anything merch related today. You got one of the new hats on.
I got one of the new hats. One of the new Mo WIFF hats.
That's pretty.
The mesh back. Yeah. Just another thing. The Mo WIFF Midwest Classic. I think the registration's open now.
Yep.
On the website.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
So mowiff.com. It's the very last tab. The Mo WIFF Midwest Classic, Carshield Field, O'Fallon, Missouri, August 30th. If you're a viewer, you're not Mo WIFF, bring a team, bring some friends. It's gonna be all day thing, great time.
It's only $125 to register per team.
And
the price didn't go up much.
Yeah, you're playing in a big time.
Or didn't go up at all.
Stadium. We're hoping to make this bigger than last year. Last year was the biggest, so we're hoping this is going to be even bigger than last year.
If it's not bigger, we didn't do our jobs right.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no. With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed yourself, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week when we come out with we got the Melonheads and the Thunderbirds.
Yes, we do.
Episode coming out next week. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to have to move to the middle of the couch. And next week, Mr. Jason Worsdenholm,
finally,
our third person on our team, will be joining us. Will be joining us in studio. We're going to have a good time with that. Yep. But other than that, you guys take care, and we'll see you next week.
Peace out from Bar O'Brien.